Let's say boxing. Tyson Fury is the champion. If you ask me if I could smash, I would say yes. I would smash him.
Tyson Fury?
In my head, yes. But when I come in the ring, he would knock me out after 2 seconds. But the mentality is,
Yes.
I can.
Yes.
But in the ring, he would eat me alive, without doubts. But my mentality is, I can.
In the world of elite sport, the line between confidence and arrogance is often blurred. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the enigmatic football icon, shared in this clip a glimpse into his mind, revealing a mentality that defies conventional thinking. Picture this, the San Siro, packed with thousands of roaring fans, celebrating their first league title in 11 years. But rewind 30 years before, to a young Zlatan dreaming big in the streets of Malmo, Sweden. Born into poverty and spending much of his childhood hungry, both for food, but also for footballing greatness. The young Swede faced his challenges, rejection for being foreign, doubts from coaches, and moments that tested his resolve. Yet in his mind, he held on to an audacious belief, a belief that would soon become his secret weapon. As others questioned him and his abilities, Zlatan answered with an unwavering confidence, "Yes, I can, I'm God." Little did they know, it was the first ingredient in his recipe for success. Now back to the San Siro. On the pitch, there was only one man who'd been there 11 years earlier. At 40 years of age, Zlatan strolled out with a cigar in his mouth to collect the 34th trophy of his career. His mind tricked him into thinking he could do the impossible, and in doing so, he made the impossible a reality. Zlatan Ibrahimovic will go down as a legend of the game. Aside from his completeness as a player, what Zlatan will be known for eternally is that his mind was a fortress of self-assurance, shielding him from self-doubt and external skepticism. He managed to successfully use the most dangerous, but also the most powerful trait any aspiring athlete needs to achieve true greatness. If used incorrectly, this trait will destroy careers, but if used in the way Zlatan used it, then there are no limits. And what is this trait? Well, this video is going to explain just that, as well as give you a blueprint on how to use it to your advantage in the same way Zlatan did. So let's get started. The clip at the start of the video joins a long list of quotes uttered by Zlatan that have made football fans raise an eyebrow and say, man, this guy. The skeptics are quick to point out that some of the things said by Zlatan over the years are just plain delusional. But that's the exact point. Zlatan achieved what he did in his career because of embodying the trait of being positively delusional. Because in order to reach the elite level of any domain, you have to convince yourself and others that you'll become the greatest in the world. And you have to deal with the daily reminders that you're out of your mind when you voice your goals, aspirations, and dreams.
Lions, they don't compare themselves with humans.
And some people might argue that such beliefs are just self-belief. But a delusion is different from self-belief or self-confidence. Those things are a lot more rooted in reality. You could have the self-belief or self-confidence of becoming a pro athlete, which could indeed be realistic given your talent, potential, and current pathway of development. But a delusion, that's far-fetched, near impossible to fathom or accurately predict, like declaring you'll become the greatest athlete ever in your chosen sport. That's just plain crazy. But that's exactly what is needed initially in order to get there. To be positively delusional means you're willing to think beyond your current limitations, which is essential if you want to become elite at something. Again, we're not talking just good or even great, we're talking elite, cream of the crop, and the best there is. You have to think and believe things that make other people think you're crazy. And from the very start of his career, right up until now, Zlatan has done just that. There is a famous story that as a teenager, Zlatan was offered a trial by Arsenal, but he turned down the opportunity by saying Zlatan doesn't do auditions. Now, some may say that this being positively delusional stuff is just plain arrogance, but it's not, as long as you combine these positive delusions with 3 key things. Each one of these has been chained together by Zlatan in his career so that he was able to back up these claims with his impact on the football pitch. Because we all know athletes who have an inflated sense of ego and self-worth, but then they have very little impact. And what then happens is that they make excuses, they point fingers at others and fail to take any responsibility. Many modern day footballers fit this profile. There's nothing positive about their delusions, and this tips over into arrogance that ends up killing off entire careers. But Zlatan is different. And the more you look at his words and behaviour, you see that he perfected the ideal combination of factors that enabled his delusions to remain positive and allowed him to become one of the greatest strikers in footballing history. So the first thing Zlatan did to ensure that these positive delusions of being a god and a lion on a pitch actually came true was that he matched his actions to his intentions. In 2017, Zlatan suffered what many people thought was a career-ending injury after rupturing his ACL whilst playing for Manchester United. Many people believe this to be the worst injury any athlete can face. And he did this at the age of 35, an age in which most football players have either already retired or will do so in a matter of months. The easy thing would have been for Zlatan to just accept this norm. But no, he carried on being delusional. He said that he would come back quicker than anyone has before from an ACL injury, and that he himself would come back better than before. And remarkably, Zlatan was back in just 7 months, whereas most people take a whole year to recover. And how did he do this? Well, he didn't just say he was going to do this, he then took every possible action necessary to achieve this. Throughout the years, we've seen glimpses into Zlatan's intense physical regime, but few people know that he also brought his own physio to Manchester United when he joined the club in 2016, instead of using the club's own. Those who are positively delusional say they're going to do something insane and beyond comprehension, but they don't just stop there and wait for it to happen. They start grinding to get there. The delusion is the setting of their North Star, and every day they work as hard as they possibly can to achieve it, even though it may seem like it's a million miles away. Whereas the arrogant, negatively delusional athlete is all talk and no action. They run their mouths but nothing else. And over time, people just laugh at them and don't take them seriously. But throughout his career, Zlatan would be bold in his predictions of what he could and would achieve. And he developed a track record of actually reaching those heights. Because he set his delusion up in the sky, but then actually built a ladder to reach it through daily actions of training his hardest for decades. Simply put, it's easy to create the delusion, but there are no shortcuts to actually making it become a reality. And Zlatan cultivated the work ethic necessary to create an alignment between his delusions and his performances. But one of the problems of these delusions is that they can alienate you from other people. Friends, family, and teammates just don't take your ambitions seriously or support them. And for a lot of people, that grinds them down. They give up on their wildest dreams because they can't deal with the lack of support, and that those closest to them just don't see what they see. So what is it about someone like Zlatan who has been able to keep up these positive delusions for an entire sporting career? Well, watch this clip for the answer.
He's not on the wall. There's a lot of
You know why?
rooms.
Because they still don't know how God is looking.
If you watch a compilation of Zlatan's best interviews, you'll notice that all of them leave both him and whoever he's talking to cracking up with laughter.
You can come in the picture, don't worry.
What keeps Zlatan's positive delusions in check is a great sense of humour. Looking at some of his quotes when written down, you'd think of him as overly cocky and arrogant, but when you actually listen and watch him deliver them, he's always saying these things with a wry smile and a touch of sarcasm. Yes, he convinces himself that he's godlike and a lion, but he also knows how to get other people to buy into the idea through joking around with these ideas. Maintaining positive delusions becomes remarkably easier with a healthy sense of humour. Laughter is an incredible weapon to use in order to raise your levels of optimism along with those around you. And in turn, this allows you to navigate the twists and turns of life with a light-hearted perspective. A well-timed joke can transform setbacks into punchlines and turn challenges into opportunities for witty comebacks. A great example of this is what Zlatan actually had to say about his recovery from his serious ACL injury whilst at Man United.
Did you have any doubts on coming back?
In that moment when it happened, it was easier for me to say that I will come back to play the game, and I will walk out just like I came in. I will not walk out limping. I will walk out the way I want to walk out. And even if I have to walk on water, I will do that also.
You had to say something.
You see from this example that someone like Zlatan with a good sense of humour doesn't just confront adversity, he dances with it, finding joy in the absurdity of the journey. Positive delusions, when accompanied by laughter, become a resilient shield against negativity and doubt. Humour enables the mind to reframe setbacks as plot twists in a grand comedy, making the audacious beliefs in one's capabilities not only sustainable, but downright enjoyable. And for Zlatan, that approach allowed him to come back from such a serious injury and still have 5 really impressive years left in his career, when 99.9% of other footballers would have just called it quits. The humour that he has tagged onto his delusions throughout his career has taken the pressure off him. He'll say something serious and outright bold, but then cut that tension and uncertainty with a good laugh, which opens himself and others to then believing that it can happen. The key is not to be too much of a joker so that people don't take you seriously at all, but you want to be someone who can laugh at themselves and the craziness of their biggest aspirations and goals. And this also really ties into the last key component that you must tag on to your positive delusions, and for them to be truly effective. See if you can spot what this is from this clip of Zlatan's interview with Piers Morgan.
Just the skill without winning anything. I think I'm the best, without joking. I'm the most complete player that ever exists. If we talk about I didn't win the Golden Ball, no, I didn't win. I didn't win the Champions League, no. If those things matters, no, I'm probably not on that list. But when we talk pure, only the player, the abilities, no, I think 100%, no joking.
Despite Zlatan still believing he's the greatest and most complete footballer, he understands how different people have different criteria for deciding that. And that yes, there are some things that he didn't accomplish in his career that some people will always hold against him. But he doesn't have a problem with that. He can accept that and respect it, but he still holds such a high belief in himself and his impact on the sport. So in this clip, what he is demonstrating is a great level of self-awareness. Knowing oneself deeply by acknowledging strengths and weaknesses with clarity creates a foundation upon which positive delusions can truly flourish. It's not about completely escaping reality, but understanding it intimately. Self-awareness serves as the compass that guides the navigation of audacious beliefs, ensuring that they align with one's authentic self, and this prevents delusions from veering into the realm of complete absolute fantasy. In the same interview, Zlatan spoke at lengths about his longevity in his career, and how that only came about through conceding and admitting that when he got to 30, he couldn't do the same things he could do at 25, and when he got to 35, he couldn't do the same things that he could do at 30. So he adjusted his game and his training regime so that he could still have the biggest impact possible. And this actually led to him scoring more goals in his career after the age of 30 than he did before that age. So maintaining self-awareness alongside positive delusions cultivates a balanced mindset, extracting the essence of extreme self-belief while staying aligned to the nuances of reality. It's this symbiotic relationship between positive delusions and self-awareness that fosters genuine growth, resilience, and the ability to turn dreams into tangible achievements. So be brave with your positive delusions that you set for yourself. The bolder the better. But just remember that they will only become reality if you keep an anchor in reality through matching your intentions with your actions, having a good sense of humor, and retaining a strong sense of self-awareness. But the hardest part is sustaining these delusions year after year as you face more and more criticism. So to help you with this, you should watch this next video here.